With the explosion of big data, access to data instantaneously becomes more and more important to enterprises so that they can remain competitive in the industry. Data availability and reliability become pivotal, and with that, 24 hours, 7 days a week monitoring becomes crucial. SuperCloud Composer offers full integration with WekaIO's software-defined storage solution, where storage administrators can build a grafana-like dashboard to collect important storage performance metrics data to meet their SLA requirements. Supermicro's Ultra and Big Twin product suite are ideal for this application. Let's tap into the storage metrics surface offered by SEC. So we went ahead and we've launched the performance metrics dashboard for the software-defined solution WekaIO. We go ahead and expose some very interesting metadata here based on things that a storage administrator would need to know to really monitor and manage their cluster, such as the cluster status, the type of architecture it is. A WekaIO environment can be in an InfiniBand technology or Ethernet. In our use case here, we show you here that is an Ethernet-based technology for Ethernet switches at the on the back end. And the size of the cluster is important as you scale out. Uptime is important, certainly. And we provide a grafana-like dashboard here where you can, again, use very similar kinds of metrics that you can pull down. We call them widgets associated with the WekaIO environment. So these types of data we want to collect shows up in this list that we can go ahead and choose. Very substantial list to be able to collect metadata about the storage performance of a WekaIO cluster. We also provide slightly different kind of charting here. So if you were to choose a read ops operation, we could go ahead and look at various different sampling techniques and charting that we provide within the WekaIO storage cluster metrics. And then the other option is the cluster size itself. So if we chose a gauge meter, we could go ahead and choose the chart size, whether it be large, standard, small, etc. So that is actually adding the widget, but we also provide a really nifty way to change the type of charting that's represented within the dashboard by simply clicking on the pencil icon and then going ahead and changing the chart to say raw data and then saving it. And then at that point, we chart basically raw data. And then you can certainly flip that back if you like to a gauge meter. So let's go ahead and do so here. So we'll select the gauge meter. And again, it changes the charting type. In the top corner here, we also provide polling. So we're polling every 10 seconds to collect metadata from Prometheus, which is our service that we're obtaining this information from. So there's an exporter that's running or an agent running on the WekaIO Docker container. And then that is funneling that metadata over to a Prometheus service, and then we've wrote an API to communicate with the Prometheus server. Again, it's different types of polling we can change. We also provide a nifty date picker schedule that you can do some trend analysis, a look back window in time where you can do historical trending of metadata or storage performance metrics you're looking for. And then the other thing which is cool about this is we provide active alerts for the WekaIO cluster that then can be sent as trigger alerts to a call home type of feature. We'll talk about that a little bit later in a podcast in the series of really setting up trigger events that will be sent to an SMS service or an SMTP relay host itself. So let's scroll down here a little bit and look at some other information. You can look at file size utilization. Again, you see these actively being updated every 10 seconds. The SSD file size, and also some interesting charting based on core utilization rates, compute core utilization rates, and host drives. And if you use the hamburger menu here, it's a list icon to show you the WekaIO cluster list itself.